Here in the Shade Tree Garage today, I'll answer the question everybody has on their mind. What's the most satisfying sound you can hear when you're trying to rehab your Tri-5 Chevy driver's door? That's coming up next here in the Shade Tree Garage. All right. What's the most satisfying sound you hear when you're working on a rusty old Tri-5 Chevy driver's door? Let me tell you. All right, here's the most satisfying sound after you grind the heads off two rusty ass bolts that won't come loose for hell or high water. That's the sound of the regulator hitting the bottom of the door. And it's free. It's loose. You're done. You've got all the paraphernalia unhooked, and it's all loose. Finally, after all the beating and banging you've done, you've got all the paraphernalia loose. Now the next job is, and I've done this, did this last night. I've ordered a new regulator for the door. I ordered a new horizontal track that goes, that the rollers from the regulator go in. It mounts to the bottom of the glass. I got a new, see if I can get the old one out here, maybe. Well, where'd it go? Also ordered a new, this is known as the idler track. This bolts on the inside of your door, and it has a groove in it, and there's a wheel on your regulator that rides in here. And actually, you know, it's a scissors arrangement. Well, this is at the bottom. And so the scissors actually form a Y. The two upward arms have rollers that go in the track. It's on the bottom, bolts to the screws, attaches to the bottom of the glass. And the other downward part rides in here. And that's what the regulator pushes against when it raises the window, and pulls against when it's lowering it. Otherwise, it would it would probably warp the door shell if the only thing holding that regulator in place was the screws that attach it. So this gets all the work. This is what allows your window to go up and down with your manual regulator. Now this one is in pretty rusty shape. It's serviceable, I guess. As you can see, I ground off the bolt head out of frustration, and this thing is rusted solid. So I thought, heck with that, give me the grinder. Went to work on it. But anyway, when you get the last bolt or screw head or two ground off, and you hear that magical clunk, music to my ears. All right, so I've ordered a new idler track, the new bottom of the door window track, a new regulator. Let's see, what else have I ordered? Oh, new screws to attach it all. I'm not going to use those rusty bastards that I took out of there. All right. Now, I suppose I will caulk over the heads like GM did 71 years ago. Though I don't really care if I put that caulking back on there or not. This isn't going to be an original restoration. This is a driver. This is one I'm going to enjoy. And 70 years from now, I could care less what son of a bitch is in here trying to get rusty screws loose. Actually, I don't expect there to be a lot of rust, because while I have the car, while I own the Chevy, it's not going to be out in the rain a whole lot. You know, it's not going to be a daily driver for anybody. All right. Anyway, that's done. And now my job is I can remove the regulator and work it through the door. Now, if you don't know, if you're new to working on Tri-5 doors, put this gizmo over here. All of this has to come out. Let me drop this camera down and turn it a little bit and tilt it and whatever else I need to do. All right, regulator has to come out here. And that can be exciting on its own because you got to work it. There we go. There it comes. All right, she came out okay. Man, there's one. It's in well, it's in pretty rusty shape. Yeah, no wonder there's no wheel left there. It's just a strip of nylon. No wonder the window went up real poorly. These damn things didn't even roll. They just slid in the tracks. Anyway, I'll have a brand new regulator coming that'll have the rollers attached. And man, I'm looking forward to it. Well, look at that. This thing's got a lot of play in it anyway. See that? Looks like the oh hell, no wonder the son of a bitch was so hard. Look, the spring is broken. That spring, no wonder that window was such a bitch to get up and down. Well, not down so much as up. All right, well, I am very happy that I ordered a brand new. I will tell you though, the prices on these things have noticeably increased over the last year. And what I thought was going to cost $120 cost me almost $150, $149.99 for this new regulator. There's two companies I've dealt with a lot. And of course, I generally will deal with the vendor who has the parts in stock. And last night, about midnight, those vendors were Mutton Hollow Chevy, or Mutton Hollow Chevrolet parts, and Real Deal Steel, or Real Steel Deal. And those guys have always been very good to me as far as getting parts, or allowing me to return, or not return parts, but I had an issue one time with one of the vendors that they were out of stock. And I found another vendor with the parts I needed in stock. So they quickly, at my request, they issued a refund. I got that money and I bought the parts elsewhere. But not throwing shade on any vendor. Because when you want those parts and you've got a deadline trying to meet, you want the parts now. And I think any vendor will tell you they understand that. All right, well, and thank you to all of our vendors out there in reproduction parts land for making parts available to keep these old cars running. I'm so thankful to have a new reproduction. I'm thankful for having a new reproduction regulator on its way here. Now, work I've got to do here, I've got this regular, the old, whoops, let me, I've got the, now also ordered a new chrome frame for the wing vent. There's some nasty looking rust on the outside up here on this corner. Inside isn't really that nice. I mean, it's passable, but and then also surface rust right here. I thought, for all the trouble it is to take it all apart, I might as well put brand new glass in with a brand new frame. So I don't know. I may clean this one up and try to sell it on eBay for somebody who just needs a frame. But but it's done its job. It's lasted 71 years. And of course, there should be the cushion here on the inside of this frame where the glass closes is long gone, long since lost its cushion. And this vertical track here is long since lost. There's just a little bit of remnant of what used to be a fuzzy track. The metal frame on this, I will use it again. I'll clean it up. It's fine. And even the this is the business end of the vent window track. Now it's got a lot of surface rust, but I'm going to sand that off and paint it. And then you've got the inner track. There's a rivet here that holds it in. Let's see, it's actually up here because there's now replacements on this track. Usually you get them one piece now. Of course, the factory, it's two pieces. You've got the upper piece and then the lower one. Of course, I'm holding this upside down, so this is the lower one. I'll drill the rivet that holds this in place, and I think there's another rivet. Yeah, there's another rivet up here, and I'll grind or drill those out. And get this off and replace it. I bought the full window fuzzy track and wing vent rehab kits a year ago. So I've still got all the parts to do this with. So anyway, I'm looking forward to getting this done and getting it back in the car. All right. All right, guys, I'm going to show you my secret weapon. I've got a secret weapon. You know, when you're taking something like this, the door internals apart, one of the biggest pains in my butt is keeping track of all the little bitty screws. Well, I've kind of solved that issue with the beauty of magnetism. So here you go. I'll give you a look at my solution to keeping track of all the little bitty parts. All right. Now, if you've shopped on Temu, you're familiar with all the different size magnets. Well, I bought, that's 2 or 3 round, they're like an inch diameter magnets. A couple of them there stuck to the door. And you can see all the hardware from this door is stuck to it. There might be one screw laying over by my drills in the floorboard of the car. But this has all of them. and it's done a great job. Helped me to stay organized and keep all this stuff together. All right, guys, another friend you might want to consider. If you are going to rehab your doors on your Chevy, either the front doors of a 2-door or all 4 doors of a 4-door, let this be your best friend. Crow oil. Now, this is the version that's crow oil with silicone. Now, I bought this can on Amazon. This is my original crow oil. This is the original formula, and so I can drip it on spots. But I needed an aerosol can, so that's why I got this. And the silicone didn't matter to me if it had silicone in it or not. That wasn't a big deal. But I thought, what the hey? What's it going to hurt? This crow oil is wonderful stuff. Now, everybody has their favorite penetrating oil. And I've seen, and there's others that you'll find. And if they work for you, fine. But crow oil has done some really wonderful things to allow me to get stuck and rusted stuck nuts and bolts. Now, you'll have to give them good soaking, and that'll help. That'll help. Sometimes heat helps too. But a good penetrating oil. And now, 3-in-1 oil is one of my go-to oils, but it really isn't designed to be a penetrating oil. but the coil will work well generally. So I live by that, and I'm happy that I finally got the an aerosol can of it. All right. Well, I've got the parts on order. They should be here by the 1st of next week, and that's good news to me. All right, guys, we have my wing vent window from my 55 Chevy wagon here. This is the driver's side, and as you can see, there should be enough room to get this to push down on this window and release it from the top of the frame. And so I'm going to take a knife and slot this ancient rubber seal. Now the seal is still kind of sort of flexible. Unlike the one that was on the passenger side, it was rock. And in fact, to get it out of this channel, this metal channel, I had to put the heat gun on it and to re-soften the 70 years of hardness that had crept into that rubber gasket, rubber seal. All right, let's see what we can do here. I don't know if I can keep this on camera or not, but give it the old college try. There we go, got it. All right, oops, damn it, hit the tree. All right, here we go. I had to, well, let me get this out of here first, maybe. Did I do it on the wrong side? No, it'll work. Woohoo! Got this crappy piece of glass and rusty frame out. Actually, it's probably usable. All right, now, I don't know if you can get a good look at that or not. Can I get a little light on the subject here, maybe? Maybe? All right. Now you should be able to see where I had to cut a relief spot out, where I just basically went on each side of that top shaft of the wing vent and just carved like hell with a sharp blade. And then all I had to do was push it down, and it cleared the metal. It cleared the metal of this frame that the rubber's fastened into. All right, so this is now I've got to deal with this rust that's all over this thing, and then drill these rivets out. Rivet here and a rivet here to get this formerly fuzzy track out. And then this other one also has a rivet fastening in here and up here too. All right, guys, I have removed the tracks from the lower part of the wing vent, and this thing is rusty as hell. And also the upper part, remove that. And actually, removal didn't require any drilling of any rivets. I took a pair of slip joint pliers and just grabbed the edges of that old track, and it's rusty as hell, and just broke it loose from the rivets that secured it at both ends and pulled it out. No biggie. Now the next job I'm working on is this rubber gasket, this rubber seal. Now this one is pliable still, and it looks like it's going to come loose, come out of here pretty easily, and it is. And that's good news. That is really good news. One less aggravation. Don't have to heat it up. Don't have to use a torch or anything. And this stuff is coming out fine. All right. Oh, that is beautiful. Beautiful. All right. All right. Well, I've got to get this last piece broke loose up here, but it's coming off great. And I will. And this track is in great shape. Of course, it's mostly covered by the mostly covered for 70 years with this thick rubber gasket. All right, guys, there's the former gasket that used to live in my wing vent track. All right, now I've got a little cleanup to do. There's a little rust here at the bottom, I think, and maybe a little. There's a little remnant of the rubber stuck up here at the top corner. I'll get that. All right. Success. Making good progress. Come on, UPS. Bring me those parts, baby. All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time from here in the Shade Tree Garage.